In the 1600s, a young boy was born by the name of Nicholas Herman. He was born to a very poor family in eastern France. And so, as soon as he was of age during his teenage years, he joined the army. He fought in the 30 Years' War, and he said that when he was 16 years old, on the battlefield in that war, an incident took place that became a spiritual transformation for him. He was in the middle of a bloody battle, and he saw a single lone tree in the middle of this battlefield. It was wintertime, so there were no leaves on this tree at all. It appeared from the outside to be dead. But he realized that this tree was just waiting for springtime. When it would leaf out, it would be full of life once again, despite everything that was going on around it. And he said he realized that that tree was symbolic of the transformative power of God in all of our lives, that it can change our hearts if we will allow that springtime to come forth. He finished his service in the war, and he became a valet first and then a footman after he left the war. But he said he was poorly suited to both of those trades. He dropped things, he broke things. It just wasn't for him. And he felt a yearning inside of him that had been there ever since this moment on the battlefield. So he traveled to Paris, and he joined a monastery, a Carmelite monastery. He took on the name of Lawrence of the Resurrection. He became known as Brother Lawrence. And in that monastery, he was given the duties of working in the kitchen, where he said once again his clumsiness came to the forefront. But he said he recognized something very powerful in his service in that kitchen. And that was that he didn't have to wait for the quiet times at night for prayer and meditation to be in the presence of God. That he realized that in the clutter and the confusion and the demands of things that were going on in the kitchen, that he could find God in that place as well. And so Brother Lawrence became known for this sense of peace and serenity that he seemed to have cultivated that very few others did. People came from all around during his lifetime to sit and talk with him, to take advantage of his wisdom and his understanding, and to experience that sense of peace. When he died at age 77, 16 letters were found that he had written to various people talking about this presence of God that he had cultivated. Those letters were combined with 4 interviews that were done by people of his age with him. They were put into a collection, a book, that was entitled The Practice of the Presence of God. This was not a title that Brother Lawrence had chosen, but it was an apt title that really expressed his life. A man who had cultivated the practice of the presence of God, no matter what his status, no matter what his occupation. The psalmist came to this same conclusion of this overwhelming and constant presence of God in his life. In Psalm chapter 139, he says this, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there, your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, the light will become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created me in my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." God's presence is everywhere around us, but sometimes we're just not looking for us. It's in the clutter of our daily activities, the chaos of our jobs, the cries of the issues that are around us, God is there. And when Brother Lawrence realized that, he came to a sense of peace and serenity. God is in control, and he will take care of it. Where in your life do you have the opportunity to see the presence of God more clearly? Is it in the tree that is just waiting to bud in spring? Is it in the cries of the baby? Is it in the tears of those neighbors who are around you and have issues in their life? Where do you see the presence of God? And where can you bring peace to your world? Have a great week.